Morning everyone, and welcome to this week's Turnaround Tip. But I'd like to talk a little bit about what I think is going to be quite a widely used restructuring tool in 2021 and 2022, and that is the concept of an informal restructure or informal VA in many respects. Now, whilst the new sort of small business restructuring regime has some promise, unfortunately the government only has, or they've capped it at for businesses with less than $1 million in debt. So that'll only work for the really small businesses. And it's come about because we know voluntary administration schemes of arrangement don't work for a lot of businesses. However, there's going to be a lot of businesses already with very heavy balance sheets. The business itself might have returned to some sort of normalcy, but they're weighed down now with extra creditor debt, extra tax debt, etc. And a tool that we've used quite a lot over the years, which I think is going to come into frame, is doing a lot of informal restructuring with creditors, where you may only be able to offer them 5 cents on the dollar if it went through a VA process, but as we know, most businesses don't emerge from VA. You might be able to offer them a much higher amount if they agree to an agreed compromise outside of an insolvency regime. So I think there's going to be a lot of appetite for that. A lot of creditors are also starving for cash, so the promise of getting 20 cents on the dollar up front now versus a very unknown cents in the dollar dividend in a potential VA is actually going to be quite palatable to a number of them, given the alternatives. It's going to be a very difficult year. A lot of businesses are going to have to do some sort of restructuring, so it might be cents on the dollar, it might be converting their debt to equity, some sort of combination of that, converting their trade debt into a medium-term loan, even with some interest, just to give you that breathing space. So I just want to put that out there, get people thinking about other alternatives to formal insolvency, and hopefully this small business restructuring concept, which is really a debtor in possession VA, does work, but goes higher, and businesses with much larger debts can access this regime in the future. But until then, certainly encourage all advisors and businesses to think about how to do compromises with creditors to avoid unnecessary destruction that can happen in some insolvency situations.